What's up, y'all? It's your boy Vic coming at you once again. Get at me at vic@bigvicpresents.com. And unfortunately, I'm not talking about music this time. We have some serious issues to address. The Bay Area over the past several weeks has had some altercations and situations between blacks and Asians, and the media's got it all blown up out of the Asians versus the blacks versus the Asians, as there's some race hating going on. And obviously, with those of you who know me, you know my background, you know my family's background and where I come from. So obviously this is a very sensitive topic on both ends of the spectrum with my family, and it's no surprise that I've been asked, hey Vic, what do you think about it? So let me just jump right in and say I do not believe this has a lot to do with any particular race that hates another race. I think that's something that a perception that unfortunately I think even some of the media might be race baiting a little bit. And I think what you see, first of all, what are we talking about? We're talking about in the last several weeks. Well, some people might take it as far back as to several months ago. There was an altercation between a black woman and an Asian woman on a muni bus. Altercation, you could call it a beat down. It all depends on what you saw and your perspective on it. Then we had an unfortunate incident several weeks ago with a woman, an Asian woman, who was pushed off of a muni platform by a group of young black men, and I use the term men loosely. And then we had very unfortunate murder of a man who was basically with his son when they were accosted by a couple of young black boys who basically after an attempt at robbery, beat up both the father and the son, and the father ultimately passed away. So very sad story, and needless to say, it's got some feelings behind this as far as, are blacks perpetrating crimes against Asians due to some kind of race hatred, and is this something that's going on, animosity that's growing? And my feeling on this is no, there's not an animosity that's growing or festering, any more so than it has been over time between all the races, between the Latins, the Latinos, and the blacks and the whites and whoever, and the blacks and Asians versus whoever. I think the races obviously don't understand each other. Unfortunately, that's just a historic thing. But I don't think that this is something about one particular group of people with some animosity that's now boiling over against another group of people. No, I think it can be made to seem that way. What you have, in my opinion, is what you have always had throughout history, and that is the have-nots versus the haves. And in this world, it would seem that the have-nots tend to be of a darker skin complexion, and I'm not just talking about in the United States. I'm talking about globally. You can go to Africa and find some dark-skinned Africans being treated more poorly than the lighter-skinned Africans. You can go to some parts of Asia where the darker-skinned Asians aren't treated as well as the lighter-skinned Asians. Same thing in some parts of Europe and Italy. Just across the board you can find that, and that's a subject for a different video blog, but that's something that I think has been a part of this world's history for a lot of different reasons. So is there a disparity? Yes, the have-nots may often seem to be of a darker skin complexion, but the have-nots come in all colors and ethnicities. But what we are seeing here is a situation where the have-nots, there's a certain, you can be in poverty and, and be trying to rise up out of your situation without resorting to acts of criminal, without resorting to criminal acts. But what you have is a situation where a certain facet of the have-nots also have not any morals, any ethics. They are devoid of any values, of any respect for themselves or other human beings, and that makes it all the more likely that they're going to perpetrate these kind of acts of violence and criminal acts against another human being. And what you're really talking about is someone who's saying, hey, look, you have something I want, and you're not big enough or strong enough to stop me from taking it from you. You know, had, say for example, the woman on the Uni platform, had that been a grown man of a strong physical stature, you know, Asian or whatever, I'm willing to bet that those young men would have left them alone. But what you have is essentially an animalistic mentality, a predator mentality that's saying, I'm going to prey on you, make you a victim because you're not strong enough to stop me. And that's what historically that facet of the have-nots, regardless of what color they are, that facet of the have-nots have always operated. Now, where race might play a role in this is in, as usual, those of us with some intelligence and some education understand the fallacy of the stereotypes and generalizations, but they've been there for a long time. And, you know, one group of people perceives another group of folks, and I think that particular facet of the have-nots probably perceive, you know, the Asian race as of a weaker physical stature. I think historically the idea has been that the Asian race is less aggressive, less assertive, thereby less likely to fight back, or at least be able to overcome this particular criminal element if they do attack them. So we understand the idea, the notion that, oh, this group of people, you know, these people with this skin color don't do anything but eat fried chicken and sing and dance and rob people. And this group of people, you know, because of their skin color, all they do is fix lawns and do gardening and landscaping. And this group of people, because of their skin color, all they do is bootleg and gamble. And you know, we know, those of us with some intelligence understand that these are the stereotypes, the garbage, the nonsense that has fueled these types of arguments and debates forever. We, you know, as a human race, we have a problem understanding each other because we keep handing down this kind of garbage to the younger generations. And you know, I think it's probably going to be a little while before we get past it. But have hope, people. We are getting past it. All you have to do is just take a look at, you know, all of the things that are going on in the world. Was look at the White House, you know, look at the, you know, compare the number of interracial relationships that you've seen 50 years ago as compared to what you see now, and you'll see that we are moving past this. There's more of us, those of us who are intelligent and understand that we can, you know, through outreaches and communities, just kind of getting involved and getting together, we can learn to respect each other and understand each other. And those who don't want to, those who refuse to, are essentially what I like to call dinosaurs. They are going the way of the dinosaurs. They will be extinct. There's more of us than there are of you. It's just a fact. Sorry for you haters. Those hate mongers who spew that garbage, stereotypes and generalizations, is kind of where all of this starts and ends. And you know, at the end of the day, we're still talking about people who perceive somebody else to have what they want, and who try to take that by means of force, by way of force. And we know that has nothing to do with race. On that note, I'm gonna get out of here. Get at me at Vic at BigVicPresents.com. That's Vic with a K. If you have something intelligent to say, agree or disagree, whatever the case may be, holla at me. God, I'm a rapper. Look, if you got something intelligent to say, I would love to open up the dialogue. You know, I'm open to different opinions and different viewpoints. If, however, you are one of these ignoramuses that just permeate YouTube, man, leave me alone. I'm over here talking about race baiting, so that's to let you know I'm not going to fall for race baiting. So if you got something like that to say, swallow it back, all right? Maybe next time we can talk about some music, which is my thing. I am Brent, Big Vic Victory, the super producer, your boy. And I don't mean boy like boy go pick some cotton. That's not the kind of boy I'm talking about. You know, y'all know that. You know, like Michael Evans used to say on Good Times. Boy, is a white racist word. Y'all don't know nothing about no Good Times, do you? Anyway, out.